More music. Better mental health. Only on IPL Radio.
And good afternoon. You're listening to Mish on Good Vibrations this afternoon, and it's Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. We're having lunch about now and winding down for the week, which is great. We just had a fantastic interview in Mark O'Hare. I was just about to say the wrong word then. Very interesting talk about. Sorry, I've just gone blank.
Family
domestic violence and positive. What was it called? Positive place. Positive place. That's right. It was very interesting. And as I was saying before, it's quite educational to learn all these things. We have a new guest in to the building. We have Lily. Hi, Lily.
Hello, Mish.
Hi, good. Thank you for coming in. And of course, I've still got Lana and River in the building.
Hello.
Lily, we met probably September, August last year, believe it or not. I was in a bad place and I needed to fulfill something in my life. And I was noticing the ads coming up on Facebook for Circle of Friends constantly. Circle of Friends is a group in the area that you can just go in unjudged. You go in and you go to social events. It's usually at Dome or a coffee shop somewhere. We just pop in there. You can talk as much as you want or you don't talk at all. They're very relaxed atmosphere. I went to the one in Kwinana and admittedly I've only ever been that once. And I met you that first time there and I think we spoke for the whole hour. I thought you were absolutely fascinating, and I think you felt the same about me. we were just going on and on and on about stuff because you're studying psychology and you're doing your undergraduate, did you say?
I'm doing my honours.
Honours, sorry.
So it is undergraduate, but it kind of lives in this grey area between because it's like the step before postgrad.
Okay. So how long have you got to do that for?
So it's a year long because I'm doing it full time, and I'll finish around the end of the year. So
okay, brilliant.
November, I guess.
Okay, cool. And then the next step next year is?
Masters or PhD.
Oh, my God. And then is that it then? You finished?
Not really. I'll never finish in working in mental health.
No.
So when I graduate, I would like to start studying part-time sexology degree or masters, and then I will probably work on doing a psychoanalyst qualification too. Consecutively, not simultaneously. Wait, sorry, mixing my words a moment.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much to learn.
There is so much to learn, and it's silly to say that it's the end of education because there is so much area to look into. So you're studying that. You're finishing this year. So are you working as well?
Not at the moment. I do some Uber Eats.
I was going to how do you? Because studying is very expensive. Education is very expensive. Yeah. So I don't know how anyone actually achieves to do that. If it's okay, I would like to go back to your past.
Certainly. And
you talk about whatever you're comfortable to talk about. I don't want to instigate you or make you feel uncomfortable in any way whatsoever. I'm going to give the mic to you, and then you're just going to go from there. And if I have any questions, I'll just throw it in. So, where do we start?
Well, that's a good question. I think I've lived more lives than my cat. So.
How is he? Poe, right?
Yeah, Poe.
He went missing for we're just going to get off the subject first of all. He went missing for a long time.
Yeah, he was gone for 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
6 weeks.
And he's just turned up?
He just turned up. He was showing out the back, like just meowing.
Yeah.
We've got a little cat run for him, or a little cat enclosure.
Yeah.
And he was just meowing underneath the little bridge where it goes into my room. So my sister was home. I wasn't at the time.
Oh, wow.
And then they ran out, got him, brought him in. He's a bit scrawny at the moment. He's lost a lot of weight, and was a bit dehydrated when we found him. He seems to be putting on weight and fluids now, which is good. But he's looks like his eye is gone.
Oh,
so we will just have to get that removed soon.
God, what a story he must have.
Oh, I'd
wouldn't you love to know the story? I know. 6 weeks and it's just turned up. That's brilliant though.
Yeah. I suspect what's happened because of the trauma to his eye. I was talking to the vet about it. Because it was a very severe wound and it happened a long time ago, not recently. I suspect while he was... Because he accidentally got out. He's an inside cat. And I assume he's hurt his eye, just walked into a thorn or something like that. And then because he's injured, found somewhere to hide for a little bit. And then when he finally got well enough, found his way home.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. Anyway, back to you. I'm glad he's home. I'm very glad he's home. It's your baby.
It's costing me a fortune.
Oh, they do, don't they? Oh, my God. But they're worth every penny.
Oh, yes.
They are worth every penny.
He's my best friend.
Exactly. Okay, so let's go back to you and where you want to start.
Where should I start? I've had a pretty full life, I guess. I've had a lot of different careers. I've been a pawnbroker. I used to play poker for a living. That was something I did for a while. Yeah. Mostly over in Europe.
Wow.
So that was fun.
Good.
So I live...
You don't meet many poker players, professional poker. There is actually one here. There's a presenter here at IPL that plays poker. And I think that's his main source of income. I won't say any names.
I used to do online poker when I was like 7. I saw my brother's PayPal account and used to make money on there.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you really? You made money on online poker? Wow.
And then I'm terrible at it in person though because I get really anxious.
No, you know how they're supposed to have that poker face? Forget it. There's no way I could do that.
I'm a blackjack player.
Oh, are you?
Blackjack? Yeah, I've met a few blackjack players.
I like blackjack, especially because blackjack compared to poker, when actually playing with other people, it's much easier to keep track of blackjack.
Keep track of the cards.
Like poker, it just like, I remember someone, I think it was, I was in Bali or Thailand and my dad and my uncle Steffi were trying to show me how to play poker and I wasn't understanding. And they were like, this is Texas Hold'em. And I was like, what does that mean? And they were like, just ignore that, okay? This is a version of poker, okay? And then, I just didn't retain any of it.
Okay,
so.
I've never really been a card player at all. But have you got a poker face, Lily?
I don't know. I think I'm better at reading other people's faces than I'm at hiding my own.
Maybe that comes from the psychology degree.
Well, I think it comes the other way because I did psychology. I mean, I did poker first.
Okay.
So, and I think it's just a natural talent. Something I've always been interested in is reading people. I'm very competitive too. So, just kind of getting in and watching and trying to work out.
That's a perfect thing for you playing poker then.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then coming out of that, so
did that become an addiction? Or not?
No, not really. Kind of. The way that... I don't think I really had a super unhealthy attachment to it at the time, but I tried again since I've quit, and I found I remember how much I loved it, and I started not wanting to do other things. Yeah,
so that would be enough.
Now I can acknowledge it as an unhealthy thing for me in my life because I went out, had a lot of fun, and I'm like, I just wanted to do it non-stop. I had other things I wanted to cancel because I just wanted to play poker.
There you go.
And I'm like, well, I can't do it casually anymore. And I have to either throw myself into it and that be my career again, or I have to quit.
Was Vegas involved? Did you go to Vegas?
I went to Vegas a couple of times.
Wow. I've always wanted to go to Vegas. A couple of days would be enough, I think, for me. Yeah. But I think everyone has to see Vegas. Do you reckon?
No, I don't think so. I hated Vegas.
I
really hated Vegas. The only reason I liked Vegas is I could wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and play poker.
Wow.
That was nice. That was fun.
Wow. Okay, so, there you go. Interesting. Okay, so you went from being a poker player to next step.
So, then I got, that was a step before I studied, but so I was I ended up divorcing from my ex-wife, and that put me in a pretty bad space. And especially because the way I play poker, it requires a lot of judgment. And I just didn't really have it at that time. I was very emotional. I didn't really want to play at the time. I was just miserable, but generally as a person. And I was over in England, and I didn't have a lot of friends because I spent my whole time at the poker table. And so, I just came back home, decided I need to do something else with my life. Yeah. And I've also wanted to do something where I help people.
Good. Nice.
I'm not Really, it always rubbed me the wrong way that I never really contributed much to
Okay.
other people
Okay.
or to society from playing poker. I just took people's money. So, I was feeling a lot better about my process, like just thinking about what I got out of poker and reading people and getting people's heads. And I've always liked trying to work out how people think. So, that's why I decided to give that a whirl. And one of the most fascinating things is there's a high you'd get from poker. And when you play this amazing hand against someone, just perfect. You get the soul reads, you know exactly what's in the hand, and you do some funky moves to get a maximum amount of money. Fantastic. But then I was scared I'd lose that feeling. But then when I started working in mental health and volunteering in various ways, I found that just being with someone and sitting with them through while they're going through a lot of hard stuff, I find can be just as much of a high for me.
Brilliant.
Like
Brilliant.
Just trying to understand their world and be there and go with their emotional journey through what's
It's
happening.
rewarding.
Yeah.
We were talking about that earlier in the earlier interview, that, things like that are very rewarding and can be much more rewarding than the dollar.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what I'm here for. If it was about money, like, there's easier ways.
Yeah,
to earn
yeah,
$100,000
yeah, exactly.
Than, because it's quite competitive. Getting into Clean Psych, which is where I'm trying to get into.
Okay.
So,
Brilliant.
always getting those HDs, making sure I keep it on top. It's one of the,
Yeah.
It's not a peas meat degrees kind of situation.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Wow. So you have had quite a diverse background.
Yeah, and I've, that's really the current path. Before that, I was in IT.
All right.
I was help desk for a while. Before that, I was making games for the iPhone. And,
All right. Cool. Oh, you're very educated. You're very knowledgeable. Awesome.
I try to be. I don't like to.
Are you the type of person that always has to be in education, always has to be learning? I feel that from you.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate given the amount of years I've spent in education, I guess.
Yeah, probably. Like, I've only met you for the last 10 minutes, and that's how I'm feeling. Like, you're always going to be learning. And that's brilliant if you have that mind for it. That's fantastic. Look, we're all learning anyway every day. We're learning life every day. But to actually hit a book and study something for at least 12 months would be hard work. And I think you have to be wired that way.
Yeah.
And I think you're wired that way.
A little bit, I think. It's I'm a little bit burnt out at the moment. This semester's been pretty hard because Poe gone has been a huge stress in my life.
Yeah.
And then him coming back has even been stressful.
Yep.
He's been in and out of the vet constantly.
Yeah.
So, it's not been the best timing.
No,
but,
and things like that never are. Yeah, never are. But he's back. That's the main thing.
Yes.
And you have him to be able to cuddle, and you've missed all that. And I think having an animal helps with mental health as well. Well, it does. Yeah. No question. It does. Do you have animals in your life, Lana?
Not at the moment. Well, apart from the geese and
the geese in the farm.
Chickens.
Geese count.
Yeah.
I love chickens.
I live at like a residential rehab in Willard, so like I'm out at Palmerston.
Yeah.
And it's like we're on a farm, so yeah, I've got 8 geese and I think like 75 chickens.
Oh, I love chickens. I could sit with them all day.
Yeah.
I could sit with them all day. Yeah. And have you got any, River?
We have Staffy mixed with Border Collie.
Okay, cool.
Her name is Soxy.
Oh.
And we have a red cap parrot called Murdoch.
Oh, okay, nice.
Named after Murdoch Nichols, the gorillas.
Oh, okay.
We've named all of the birds. Well, I've named most of the birds after band stuff.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
just gorillas in general, because there was one called Mojo.
There was Mojo Jojo. There was Noodles, or Noodle, as in Noodle from the gorillas. And there's Murdoch. And then we've had a few other ones before that were pre-named, so we didn't get to like.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've got a rescue dog. We've had him for 4 years now. He's a Staffy Cross called Chevy. Of course, that was his name already, so he's my best friend. Absolutely best friend, yeah.
I had 2 dogs and 2 cats growing up, though.
I absolutely love animals. I've had animals in my life all the time.
Funny thing, though, because we have shown that animals can be really good for your mental health, but they can actually also be bad for your mental health. particularly with introverts, like I'm an introvert, one of the things that we can do is replace human interaction with our pets.
Definitely.
And that can be a mistake. If you replace your human bonds with animals, then you're missing out on
I do that too. I do that too. They're easier. They don't talk back. They don't argue with you. They're not nasty to you. They don't bully you. Why would you be with a human?
I really want to get a cat again.
Yeah, I love animals.
I would love to have dogs as well, but I feel like
You're a cat
where
person?
I'm at in my I'm an animal person.
Yeah,
but like
okay.
where I'm at in my life, I feel like a cat would kind of mesh more with my energy at the moment than like a dog.
That's
I
cool.
think that I was going to say, like, if animals can only be a good thing on your mental health if you're already in a good place, I think, because otherwise if you're in a bad mental place and you have a pet, you might not treat them well.
No, I don't believe that, because he'll bring me out of my...
There is obviously a bit of a mix there, but I know...
he comes before me, so he'd always be fed.
Yeah.
He'd always be walked.
Oh, yeah. It
And he makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But
there could be cases where you're right, they neglect because they're neglecting themselves, although usually animals, they do come before you. If you have that... If an animal is your best friend, the animal will come before you.
Yeah. And another big thing is, like, as you were saying with, like, introverts and stuff, it can be different. And that also depends on what animal you get.
Okay.
Like, one of our birds was Wally, which was a big cockatoo. And he was very aggressive.
Yeah, they
and
are.
He only liked me.
Yep.
And I was, like, a kid, like... up to like teen, so like pre-teen to teen, we had him. And so I would be the one being told by parents, I was like, go take Wally out, like have a fly around, and he would scratch up my shoulders and he would bite me, and I hated it. And it wasn't a good thing on
all right.
my health or mental health.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Any of like other animals, like a dog or a cat or any of the other birds, like a smaller bird, I loved them.
But
it's a different thing.
You didn't have that communication with that bird, like it wasn't your best friend. It was a chore for you.
But it bit everyone much more than me, so it had to be me.
It had to be you. So it was a chore rather than
pretty much
caring. It wasn't something you really wanted to do.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
the
obviously we wanted, to get to have Wally like be treated and be a good pet, but he just
couldn't get there.
He couldn't get there. But then when we sold him to a new owner, he's been great ever since.
Wow.
It's all you have to find. A pet has to find its person.
Yeah. Yeah,
well,
they find us, I think, a lot of the time. They do find us, yeah. Interesting.
But I do agree. I think the cat is the way to go. I'm a big cat person or bird person.
I need to adopt a cat.
There's so many out there that need
bond with a creature.
Yeah, definitely.
Shelter and bring it home.
Got to get rescue though.
Yeah, definitely. We're Shenton Park. We got ours.
I'm not going to go like kitten farm shopping.
No, not at all. Not at all. I've had. We lived on a property, and I've had pet sheep. I had lambs. Thelma and Louise, I called them. They were twins. Thelma and Louise. And they used to follow me around like dogs and sit by the back door. I loved and I adored those sheep.
I would babysit a Joey for a bit at the op shop. I don't know if you ever come in when we had the Joey there. Like, would have been a couple of years ago maybe.
No,
but like,
I never saw.
Okay, like the owners, Scott and Dave, they had like lots of farm animals because they had a farm property. Or they still do, I think. But like, they don't know if there's still any animals there. And they would we'd have baby Joeys from time to time, and like
a lot of work,
carrying them around in like backpacks and
a lot of
like,
work
looking after them. It's literally just like my furry baby.
Yeah,
and I'd be babysitting them for a few hours at a time. Sometimes when I'm on shift. And
did you have to toilet them?
Well, generally, like it'd just be like you'd have to clean their.
Yeah,
they're actually
they're
pretty good on their own.
Yeah, they're not like pooping everywhere.
No,
all the
they
time.
poop everywhere.
Not as
I can't believe we're talking about kangaroos now.
I can't recall how many Joeys I've raised.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've raised quite a few, and all of them because like they, I remember pretty much all of them. They would hang around on the patio, and so they would. Yeah, there'd just be a bunch of pebbles all over the patio that I'd have to bring.
Yeah, exactly. Same with the sheep. They used to be doing that, and they used to eat my husband's plants, which he wasn't happy about.
Yeah, and we always let them go out and be free eventually when they grow up, and they were usually females.
Okay,
you find that with Joeys, it's much easier to find the females than the males. It's
wow.
much more females than males with kangaroos, I think.
Right.
And, there was one story where one time one of these joeys came back as a full-grown kangaroo way later, and they did that all the time, but like it would slowly become more infrequent, and in a few months, and she had come back and she had a boyfriend. This really massive jacked kangaroo, huge. And was like comparable to my dad in size.
They're massive.
And they had joeys of their own and stuff, and so she's there. She's like trying to be all like, "Hey, family, come and have a look."
And he then, doesn't like it.
The big boyfriend is just like, "What? Who the hell are these people?"
Yeah.
And it felt very much like as if they're a part of the family.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. Anyway, back to Lily.
I was lovely hearing about these kangaroos.
I know, it was lovely. I love talking about animals because I think they're very important in our lives. So hopefully Poe gets better and he's with you. How old is he?
He's about 3.5 now.
Oh, he's only a baby still.
So, he'll be all right. He'll bounce back.
Yeah, they will.
Get him a cool eye patch.
Oh, yeah.
At the moment, he looks kind of like a Bond villain, so it's fantastic because he's got... So his eye, at the moment, it's just retracted back into his skull a little bit. So the third eyelid is just lapsing over his eye, and so it looks all white and milky constantly. So he's my little Bond villain.
He looks like a villain. Yeah, change his name to villain.
That just remind me of I don't know if I told you about the mouse I had when I was like a kid.
No.
That used to live at my friend's place. Yeah, he was born without an eye.
Your kid or the mouse?
The mouse.
Oh,
Born without an eye.
Like born without an eye.
Happens a lot.
But he had he was black and white, and he had like a white face, and he had around the eye that was born closed.
Black.
It was black. So he had a little eye patch, and I called him Captain. And he was the most adventurous mouse. Like never stopped him. He would just be climbing everything all the time,
cool.
like being full of antics and like.
Wow.
Yeah, I just couldn't have him at home because Mum was terrified of rodents.
Yeah. Wow. That's funny.
Poor little thing.
Yeah, that's so cute. Anyway, Lily, where are you today? Like, what are you up to now?
Well, at the moment, I'm just studying.
Studying.
Yep, I'm headed into assignment season at the moment, or like nearly exams and stuff like that. So, it's just one assignment after another.
Yeah. And what university are you at?
ECU, Edith County.
Okay, cool. Nice. So where's that?
Up in Joondalup.
Oh, bloody hell. That's miles away.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Like, I just get on the train.
Yeah, train would be the easiest way to get there, for sure. Wow. Yeah, I know where ECU is up there.
I did my uni prep. Well, I tried to do uni prep at Mount Lawley.
Yeah.
And then I had to move out of home, so that didn't end up working.
Bad timing.
I was like, I'm gonna work full time and pay rent.
What's your plans now, Lana? Are you going to study at all?
I still want to study, but I think like this when I'm moving into the transitional accommodation in like 4 weeks. So for the first 6 months, I'm going to just like adjust to living off the farm and like doing my own thing and just keep doing pretty much similar to what I'm doing. I'm going to start doing the pre-entry groups for Palmerston, so I'm going to like help with their intake.
Oh,
and,
cool.
Like,
that's
give them,
good.
Like information and stuff about like how it actually is on the farm.
Back.
So
yeah, that's great.
I'm going to do that 1 week, and then the other week I'm going to come back to the farm and like just be part of the program for a day.
That's awesome.
And,
good for you.
So I'm going to look for full-time work again and try and save up, get my license, get a car, get all that stuff sorted, try and save up some money. So if I do decide to go study, which I'm probably going to,
you're going to need that
I can
cash.
actually have like the freedom to do that a little bit more comfortably, because I've never really been financially stable in my entire life. So
wow, you've got so many changes ahead of you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening every day for you, but it's brilliant. Absolutely. But the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
As they say.
What do you want to study?
I wanted to do teaching for a really long time, but I'm also thinking that like that's still further down the track. Like I feel like that's more of like something I want to like do for a long time and retire into.
Okay.
So I kind of want to like live my life a bit more, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when I was
and you can't do that as a teacher?
Because I was going to graduate high school like a year younger than everyone else, and I thought if I did teaching straight away, I would have no life experience whatsoever, and I would find it next to impossible to find like respect from youth, because I'd still be a youth.
Fair enough, yeah.
And then that turned into like, over 10 years of just life. And now I've just got to the point where I'm like, I don't think I'm like like in terms of like solid enough in my recovery and all that kind of stuff, like I'm pretty content with where I'm at, but like I want to be able to like focus on myself a little bit longer and maybe like, I'm considering support work and something along those lines, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think
because you've got that live life experience, of course.
And like, I want to do something that I can use my lived experience and like with mental health, with substance use, with like, you know, DV, all that kind of stuff, like,
which you're already doing by coming in here to the radio.
Yeah. So
it's brilliant.
Thought about doing a so you could long do and do teaching, but if you want to get in mental health now, you can do a peer mental health course at, I think it's TAFE that does it, but it's they're putting a lot of funding into peer mental health at the moment because it's a lot cheaper to train someone who's had some lived experience with mental health about how to help and support other people with mental health. So
awesome. Well, that might be a way to go.
It takes a lot to train a qualified psych.
So there's actually like peer mental health courses?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, I think there's lots of scholarships for them and stuff too.
Cool.
So I wish I had more details into that. I meant to look into them just so I'd know, but it was never a path I was going to go down just because I already had my path.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Cool.
I will actually. I'm going to make a note on my phone so I don't.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a brilliant idea. That's good. It's nice to chat and then we can find these things out. Yeah, we're going to have to stop there, Lily. Is there anything else you want to tell us before you disappear?
Yeah, I guess you do have a couple of minutes. I just I guess one of the things about mental health is we really underplay the importance of community a lot in it. So one of the things we do with Circle of Friends is we're not a counselling group or really a support group. We're really just people with lived experiences of mental health issues and getting together and supporting and having a community. And that doesn't mean that's the kind of environment for everybody, but the importance of community, it just can't be underplayed. We always put people working out their own problems, but sometimes all people really need is good people around them. Yeah, good listeners as well, I think, and as I said, when I went that first time, I was extremely nervous because, you know, I suffer from anxiety and depression, and that day I was in a bad space, but it was really hard for me to walk through that door, but I felt very comfortable once I had. So I appreciate that, Lily, that you made me feel very comfortable in that environment. So I would suggest anyone who's in a situation where they have no one that they have to talk to and they just want to get out into society or into the community for a coffee, have a chat or not, just to be with people.
How often do you guys catch
Circle of Friends twice a week?
Twice a week. So I volunteer at the Kwinana one, so that's at Thursdays between 11 and 12:30, though we usually go over.
That's at the Dome, right?
At the Dome, yes. So that's the Kwinana Dome, and there's one at the Baldivis Dome, which, I don't have, I think that one starts at 10:30 on
Fridays. Yeah, that's right, yeah. But I usually put a lot of information on IPL and on my own page with Circle of Friends, so if anyone wants to ask me any questions, just message me on Mish IPL and I'll give you the information, because it's definitely something that I would recommend for people who are a bit lonely, just needing someone to be there as a support. You don't have to talk about anything you don't want to, just be around people and have a coffee. Just in a really nice, comfortable environment, which is great. And I would, I can recommend it because I've been in that situation. And I haven't not been back for any reason, but I started at IPL and this is my fulfilment and this is my way of being a part of community and part of my mental health awareness for community. So, yeah, Lily, if you ever want to come back, you're very, very welcome, and you know how to contact me now. So, we would love to have you in for some chats anytime.
It's been absolutely my pleasure.
It's been wonderful.
And I'm glad to hear that we were there for you when you needed us.
Yeah, definitely. And as you say, that's really important. And for me to step through the door was very hard, but I knew I had to do it. And once I had done it, that one step was fine. And I'm still standing.
Yeah. And for anyone out there, again, you don't have to talk about anything.
No.
We're just there and a non-formal group, but I'm always there to listen when people do need to open up about stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, thank you so much. I'm going to go into some 80s music because that's what I love, obviously. Usually I've got a headband on as well. I haven't got it on today.
I've been told we don't do Pink Floyd, though.
We don't do Pink Floyd. It's too sad to me. Like, I do Pink Floyd at home.
We don't need no
education. Yeah, I do Pink Floyd at home, but it's a mood thing. You have to be in the mood for Pink Floyd, and I don't think radio Friday afternoons is for me. Right, this is my show, right? Remember.
I was gonna say, a lot of my sad music is my happy music, though. So I feel like a lot of people can relate to that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, too bad they're on another show. All right.
I put Pink Floyd in my show.
There you go. So go to River's show if you ever want to listen to Pink Floyd, but I'm afraid I will not play it here. I'm sorry about that, but I've had plenty of 80s music, but it's poppy and it's fun and it's happy, and again,
I'm here for it.
Thanks, Lily. This is Push It by Salt and Pepper.